Hey guys, what's up? It's Liv and welcome to my channel. So you guys have probably clicked on this video because you're curious about studying here in the Netherlands, or you've already been accepted and you're excited and you just don't know what to expect. So in this video, I'm going to give you important things that you need to know before you come to Amsterdam as a student. Let's get right into this video. First off, let's talk about visas. So as soon as you guys get accepted to either UVA or HVA or any other university in the Netherlands, you guys have to start applying for a student visa. And I don't remember specifically how long it took for me, but it could take up to weeks, it could take up to months. And if you guys don't get this visa in time, then you cannot go on your study abroad experience because they're not going to let you in the country. Basically, I'm a Canadian resident. I'm from Montreal, Canada. And I had to start applying for this because I don't have a European passport. So if you guys are from Europe, of course you don't need to do this. I remember being very stressed out about this because it was a lot of paperwork. You have to have your passport. And another big thing is your insurance. I had to figure out if I had to get insurance here or that I could use my own insurance. Luckily, my insurance had travel insurance, but it only lasted 6 months. So that after 6 months, I wasn't insured if something ever happened to me in Europe. So you guys have to be very careful with what you do, and you have to get all the information out before you send it, because if it gets sent back to you, then it could take longer and that will delay your study program. Another important thing is to not book your flight right away, and it's to wait for that visa to get accepted and approved. Because if that doesn't get accepted, then you can't go on your study abroad. That means you've just spent money on a plane ticket, and I would just wait to buy a plane ticket. Second thing, so basically you guys have done your student visa process and that's in the wait. Now you guys are gonna have to prove to the school that you have financial means to study here and to afford your 6 month stay. And to me, this was the biggest problem I've had because I had to send the school a big chunk of money that I didn't personally have and that I don't think most students have in their pockets. So that was very stressful for me to figure out, but telling you guys now and you guys know how much it's going to cost, then I think that's going to help you guys a lot. So this is a personal experience for me because I went to HVA and I only went for 1 semester, which is 6 months, and I had to leave a deposit of 5,790 euros. So in Canadian, that's almost like $9,000 to $10,000, which is a lot. And then if you're staying 2 semesters, it's going to cost 11,580 euros that you have to give to the school. So I'm just going to be honest and say this was a lot of money to just send to the school. What I did was send, because I got a grant from my school, so I sent that amount in a letter to them showing them that I'm going to be receiving this amount of money, and then I paid the rest so that I didn't have to pay the full amount. This is the complicated part. There's 3 options. So online they say, first of all, you have to send the school the money and get a refund once you've come to Amsterdam. The second option is to get a bank letter, and the third option is to have scholarships or grants. So the first option is what I did, and I sent the money to the school, but the catch was you had to get a Dutch bank account in order to receive the money into your account, or I guess you could get it back into your Canadian account, but then transferring it doesn't make sense. Like once you live here, you have to get a Dutch bank account. The different banks are Revolut, ING Bank, ABN, so many. But the one that was easiest for me was ING Bank. And in order to get this Dutch bank account, you had to get a residence card. You had to go pick it up at the municipality and then get a BSN number. So that's separate things. I suggest highly, once you guys get here, to get a BSN number. That's going to allow you to open up your bank account right away. And that's something that I did way too late. SN number, you have to make an appointment somewhere and find a local spot near you. The third thing that I'm going to be talking about, which also relates with the second one, is getting a SIM card. I don't suggest doing what I did actually, is getting a Vodafone SIM card, because I would just pay like 20 to 30 euros a month and it would just be a SIM card and I would have a phone, but I couldn't call people necessarily like on my phone. I would have to call them via WhatsApp. Like I didn't have the option to call people, so I would suggest doing more research into this and getting a better phone plan, because in order to make your BSN number or appointments, you're gonna need a phone. That's the one thing. Having data here, like, you need data, but because I did like a SIM card with like 10 to 15 gigabytes per month, like, I was blowing through it and it was costing me way too much money. So I would just give a bad example for me, and I failed at it, but it was already too late because I had a phone number and it was all set up, that I didn't realize that Vodafone wasn't a good option for me per se. I know one that was really good, it's called Tele2, and that one you could make calls and everything, so I would suggest this one, but then again, I don't have much information about it. But okay, the fourth thing I'm going to be talking about is courses. So when you guys come here and get accepted, you're going to have to plan out your courses and what courses are going to actually get transferred, because I'm in business and I go to a business school, HBA, but it was so difficult for me to pick courses because their Dutch system was so different. Because if you're a Dutch student, you are given classes to you because you're under, let's just say, international business, and then you're given classes for the next 4 years by the school. But back home, it's like you pick your own courses, and then some of them get credited more or less, and then it's so different because you make your own courses. So this was something very challenging for me to figure out. But once I did it, I had to talk to my chairman, and we sat down and he said, okay, this course is going to match up with this course and it's going to be credited for this. But this took so much back and forth because you really have to read the course description and then find something very similar to your school and then see how it could get transferred. So I would suggest highly taking the time to go on the school's website and just figuring it out a little bit. This is going to be a process, like, before even getting accepted to the school, that you should have already looked at your courses before going into the school. It's just that sometimes last minute, it's not going to work out the way you planned. The way it works for the school courses is that I think it was at 7 in the morning my time, because it was later in the day in Europe. So I had to wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning, and then I was waiting in a queue to just pick my courses, and I had all of them planned out, but then all of them were already taken. So I was panicking because I was like, I don't know what to take, so I just took random courses, and then afterwards my chairman had to accept them. So sometimes you can't really plan for things and you just have to feel it out and see, because courses are difficult to just get the ones that you want to get. Also, how it works with courses here is that for my home university, it's just pass or fail. It doesn't actually count on my GPA. So if I pass all my courses, which I did, it's just gonna say pass, and then I won't really count for my GPA, but of course they're gonna count towards my graduation, which was really good because you just had to pass them. Personally, the courses for me were very easy. 5 courses I took were current issues in business and society, international business and ethics, sales negotiation and culture, managing entrepreneurship and innovation, and creativity in business. And my favorite class was sales negotiation and culture. It was very much a hands-on class, and it taught you a lot of skills in business to negotiate with different cultures, because we had a lot of international people, of course. So it was very interesting and one of the best classes I've ever had in university. So I highly suggest taking this course if you go to HBA in Amsterdam. The courses in general were very shocking to me because I already go to a small school in Canada, but this felt so much smaller. It felt like I was in elementary school because we were only like 20 to 30 people in the class, or even less. One of my classes was like 10 of us. But it's also so nice because the teachers know your name and you get to know a lot of people in your class, and it's easier to make friends. Also, the thing is that the courses here are 3 hours, but you have it only once a week, versus back home we had 1.5 hour classes, but twice a week. So it is very long, although it's like one and done, like you took your class and then it's done. We didn't have any tests at the end of the year, which was amazing, but we had a lot of assignments. Like every single week, I had 5 courses, I had 5 assignments per week, which really was straining. Like they weren't hard, it was just like a lot building up. Of back home, at least for me, that I can miss any course I want. Like, if I don't want to show up, I don't show up. It's my responsibility because I'm an adult. Like, if I don't want to go to class, I don't go to class. But here it's, if you miss 2 classes or even 1 class, that like they won't, like, you're gonna fail, because attendance is mandatory, and that if you miss a class, then you're already behind and they will fail you. So that is one important thing you need to know if you want to take classes here. Also, Dutch are very strict and hard at marking, and the curriculum is just different in a sense. Main difference I found between Canada and Netherlands for education purposes is that they talk so much about sustainability here, just because I think that Amsterdam is like one of the most sustainable cities, maybe, I don't know, it's up there in the top. And they really like to talk about it within the business community. It's just so different than back home, whereas business is so much more capitalistic. Then here it's more socialistic and doing things for the environment. Overall, I really enjoyed the classes here. One of my teachers brought us downtown Amsterdam and was teaching us a lot about like the Dam Square and all this. So it was very hands-on and technical, because HVA is a applied science school, so it's very hands-on. I really enjoyed the classes and the people I met in them. Now we're on to the 5th topic, which is housing. So as you guys have probably heard in the Netherlands, that there is a housing crisis going on right now, and it is very hard to get housing, especially as a student as well. So I didn't stay downtown, but I did have the option to, but I chose not to, because the housing that I got right now is right across the street from the school. It's literally 20 seconds walk. So I got very lucky as to where it was. But I'm in Biltmore Arena area, and if you guys can see that on the map, it's 8 metro stops from downtown, and I'm 5-minute walk from the metro, so I really like it here. And I met a lot of people in the building, and it was an amazing time. But like I said, I did have the option to move downtown. Because I was admitted to HBA, I got logged into the housing process, and I could pick downtown here and a couple other places, but I chose this one. It's called Board. I had a 1-bedroom apartment, and I'm gonna show you guys some videos now. So I had my own kitchen, I had my own bathroom, my own bed, and the view outside, it's just right next to the school. It's amazing. And I met a lot of friends here, and there's a common space. There's always parties on the weekends to make you meet people, and it was actually really, really fun. So I 100% recommend living here. I pay 600 euros for this unit, and it includes water. But other units, if you share with people, could be around like 300 to 400 euros per month. Now I'm going to be talking about the fees associated with the housing. So for 1 semester, it is 235 euro fee just to get into the website to pick your housing. And then rent varies between 360 to 950 per month, depending on the room type. So you can either get private or shared room with different facilities, so private or shared bathroom, stuff like this. Includes electricity, gas, water, and internet. 5 different housing providers. So there's DKey, Duo, Our Campus, Student Experience, and Studnest Spartan. These are the 5 different ones, and then they all have different prices for administration fees and deposits. And I was with DKey, so my administration fee was 150 euros, and then I have to leave a deposit for 2 months rent. So depending on your rent, it could vary. My rent was 600, so my deposit was 900 Canadian. My deposit was basically 600 euros. And the first payment is the first 6 weeks of rent. So there's just a lot of money to be put in for the financial means part of it, and then the housing provider. Like, you need to put a lot of money up front for everything. But I mean, to be honest, the housing is like pretty reasonable. You're gonna have to do that anywhere you go. And then you only get the money after you leave. So I'm only going to be getting this deposit back after I leave. Number 6. So this is talking about jobs. How do you get a job? Can you get a job? in the Netherlands as a Canadian or American citizen. Fortunately for you guys, I did get a job here, and I'm giving you positive vibes if you're freaking out about getting a job, because I was looking into it for so long. I was trying to get a job, I was putting my resumes, I was emailing all these Dutch companies, I was freaking out about it, and I was so stressed out. But once I finally got here and settled in, I was just going to the grocery store and I was just walking about, and I went into this cafe and I said, "Hi, I'm international from Canada. Are you guys hiring?" And they told me like, "Oh, like there's so many internationals in Amsterdam, like all we have to do for you is that you have to sign this paperwork, and then we're gonna process a student working visa." So basically what I had to do was do a 4-hour unpaid trial day at this cafe, and if they liked me and if I liked them, then we would start this arrangement and do the working visa. Because once you get here, you have a student visa, and then a working visa is very separate. So that I had to put all my information and all of this, and only after 6 weeks I could start working. Or it's kind of like your student visa that you have to wait for it until you start working, because if you don't get this visa, then you can't start working. So I got very fortunate and I got paid. I got paid $11.75 per hour, but this is dependent on how old you are here in the Netherlands. So that's about like 17 Canadian dollars per hour. So that's amazing, that's really good. Lastly, I just want to share a little bit of information about like some apps you guys should have, some grocery stores, and like where you should go and everything like this. So basically one of the best apps is 9292, and it's basically an app like this where you want to go, and then it tells you what tram. So if I want to go downtown from here, it'll take 35 minutes. So I just click it, and then it'll tell me how to get to the metro and what stop to get off. It's very, very useful to have. As for the grocery stores, we have like an Albert Heijn very close, but it is the most expensive grocery store here. And then we have a Lidl, and that's the one I go to most of the time because things are a bit more cheaper. But you're gonna see when you get here that you go for things for different reasons. Also for bikes, unfortunately I didn't get a bike because I came in February and it was so cold, and you could get this app called Swap Fits, and it lasts for 6 months, and you pay 20 euros a month for a bike. So that's amazing because the transport here is amazing. So I'm like, why would I bike half an hour if I could just take a metro or public transportation? But of course, when you come here, you want to get a bike. It's just that I don't live downtown, so it is kind of a hassle to have a bike, I think. I think that's maybe the reason why. Another big question that you guys are probably gonna ask is about making friends. Is it easy? Is there anything that you should do to make friends? And the answer to that is yes. You guys should sign up for the ESN Frosh events. This costed about 100 Canadian dollars, less than 100 euros. And basically you're gonna be put into a group, and then you're gonna meet with that group, and then do a lot of fun things around the city, like go to museums, some group activities, and also just do some night events. And personally, I didn't go to any day events, and I just went to the ones at night. So you're gonna be drinking with your group, going to really, really, really cool bars. So the first night you go to Coco's Outback, which is really fun, and you get to meet people, and I met a lot of people from my dorm there, which was fun. One night we went to Aloha Bar, which had bowling, laser tag, and karaoke rooms, and it was really fun as well. This is something that I highly suggest that you guys do, and I highly suggest that you guys go to the events in the day to make closer relationships with people. And the second thing is to make friends is going to be so easy in your classes, especially like I said that the classes are very small. And in your residencies, we had a common room, and that it's so easy to just walk in and introduce yourself and to make friends. And yeah, that's like the best advice I can give you to make friends, but really putting yourself out there and being nice with people. So yes. Anyways, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you have any questions or other things that you want to ask me, leave it down in the comment section. I'm gonna maybe make another video or answer it for you guys. So I really hope this helped someone out there. And thank you guys so much for watching. I also did some vlogs while I was here. Every week that I was here, I was vlogging. So if you want to know more about my life here in Amsterdam, then I will link that also in the description. So thank you guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.